$400 a day, starting from nothing, in 30 days. It's the most sold promise on the internet, and almost everyone gets it exactly wrong. You've seen the ads: Lamborghinis, beach laptops, a screenshot of a payment alert. Buy the course, push a button, watch the money pour in while you sleep. Here's the uncomfortable truth. That number is real for a tiny few, and a fantasy for almost everyone else. And the reason why is hidden inside the 30 days itself. By the end of this video, you'll know why the number lies, what a realistic first month actually looks like, and the one thing separating those who make it from the 90% who quit. Stick around. The answer is a specific day almost nobody survives. Alright, I'm Sargon, and this is Strategy State, the channel where we take the money promises everyone's screaming about online, and we run the actual numbers until the truth falls out. Today's promise is the big one: $0 to $400 a day in a single month. Let's find out what's real, what's a scam, and what a smart person should actually do with the next 30 days. First, let's do the math nobody wants to do. $400 a day isn't $400. It's $12,000 a month. It's $146,000 a year. That's not a side hustle. That's more than most doctors and lawyers take home. Say it out loud, and the promise starts to sound different. So when a 19-year-old in a rented Lamborghini tells you you'll hit that in 30 days, with no skills and no money, your alarm should be screaming. But here's the twist. The number isn't a total lie. It's just been chopped in half and sold to you backwards. Let me show you the real data. Here's what the surveys actually say. The typical side hustler earns a median of just $200 a month. The average is higher, around $885, but that average is dragged up by a small group of high earners. Half of all side hustlers make under $100 a month. That's the real starting line. Not a Lambo, a couple $100. $200 a month versus $12,000 a month. That's the gap between what gurus promise and what statistically happens. So, is the $400 a day dream just a flat-out lie? Not quite, because there are actually two completely different questions hiding inside that one sentence, and untangling them is where this gets interesting. Question 1. Can you make $400 in a single day? Yes, that part is genuinely doable. Finance writers document it constantly by stacking gigs. Mow 5 lawns at $40, sell $300 of stuff you already own, do a research study for $150. Stack enough small wins and a $400 day is absolutely real. But here's the catch that guts the whole promise. That kind of $400 day isn't income, it's a one-time event. You can't mow the same 5 lawns tomorrow. You can't resell your couch every morning. So the real question isn't can you hit 400 once, it's can you make it repeat. And that changes everything. Repeatable $400 days come from one thing: a skill someone will pay for again and again. And in 2026, the fastest growing one has a name: AI-assisted services. Demand for AI freelance skills on Upwork jumped 109% in a single year. AI video work alone exploded 329%. This is the gold rush hiding under the hype. And you don't need to code. The people winning here aren't computer scientists. They're what I'd call AI plumbers. They connect existing tools to solve a boring business problem. A small shop wants a 60-second product video. She doesn't want to learn the software, she wants the result. And she'll happily pay $75 to $150 for it. Now here's the part that finally makes the 30-day number make sense. Real freelancers report the same curve. Month 1, you earn between $300 and $800 total, not per day, for the whole month. That's the learning phase: building a profile, landing your first small jobs, collecting reviews. It feels slow. It feels like it's not working. And that, right there, is the trap the gurus never mention. They sold you 400 a day by day 30. Reality hands you maybe $500 for the entire month and a pile of exhaustion. So what happens next? For most people, something predictable and heartbreaking. Let me show you the number that actually decides your fate. 25% of side hustlers quit within the first 90 days. 1 in 4. And the studies are blunt about why. They expected fast money, hit the slow reality, and walked away. Nearly 60% report burning out from juggling a job, a family, and a hustle that isn't paying yet. The problem was never the method. It was the timeline in their head. 1 in 4, gone in 90 days. And honestly, it's worse than that once you widen the lens. Zoom out, and it's even starker. 80 to 90% of side hustles die within the first year. Not because the ideas are bad, because people give them 3 tired hours a week and expect a miracle. You're trying to win a marathon while jogging with one shoe on. But the ones who make it share the same brutal secret. Here's the cruelest detail in all the data. The people who succeed said the exact same thing over and over. One freelancer wanted to quit at month 4, earning only $200 a month. Then month 8, it exploded to $3,500. Another made $127 in 3 months, nearly gave up, and now runs a real business. Success came right after the point most people walk away. That's the riddle from the start of this video, finally cracked open. The 30 days isn't a deadline to get rich. It's a filter. It's the stretch designed to make you quit right before the momentum kicks in. The gurus sold you a finish line. In reality, day 30 is barely the starting gun. So how do you actually survive it? The winners all share one boring habit, and it's not talent, it's consistency. The successful freelancers worked 30 minutes to 2 hours every single day. No exceptions. The ones who failed worked 8 hours one weekend, then vanished for 3 weeks. Your brain forgets, momentum dies, and you start from zero every time. Small and daily beats big and rare. And the second habit is even simpler. Pick one thing. The data is brutal here. People who hop between 5 hustles, Etsy today, dropshipping tomorrow, AI prompts next week, almost always fail. Every switch resets your progress to zero. The ones who win choose a single path and stick to it long enough for it to compound. Focus isn't glamorous, but it's the whole game. There's a validation trick the winners use too. Before building anything, they test if people will actually pay. One person launched a now 6-figure business by posting a simple Google Doc as her offer. No website, no logo, no fancy tools. The failures spent 6 months perfecting a product nobody wanted. The winners spent 6 hours finding out if anyone would buy. So let me connect the dots I promised at the very start. 0 to 400 a day in 30 days, as advertised, is mostly a fantasy. But a realistic version is genuinely within reach. A few $100s in month 1, a real skill forming, and a trajectory pointing straight up. If you don't quit on the exact day you're built to quit. Here's the honest version, because I'm not here to sell you a dream. Month 1, $300 to $800 while you learn. Month 3, if you stay consistent, $1,500 to $3,000 a month. And the specialists who systemize it, build retainers, raise rates every few clients, genuinely reach $5,000 to $10,000 a month by month 6 and beyond. Slow, then sudden. So what do you actually do with your next 30 days? You stop chasing 400 a day and start chasing your first 400 a month. You pick one skill, ideally an AI-assisted service people already pay for. You work on it a little every single day. And you promise yourself one thing. You will not quit on day 30, because that's exactly when the real game begins. One last thing to keep you honest. None of this is guaranteed. Skilled freelancing takes real effort, the market shifts, and plenty of people put in the work and still stall. Anyone promising certainty is selling you something. The point isn't a magic number in 30 days. The point is to trade a fantasy you'll abandon for a skill that can actually pay you for years. So, 0 to 400 a day in 30 days? Here's the honest answer to my own riddle. As sold, it's bait. But as a direction, it's one of the most achievable things in modern work. You just have to survive the boring middle. And here's the funny part. The gurus were right that 30 days changes your life. They just forgot to mention it changes it on day 31, right after you were supposed to give up. If this saved you from buying some $69 course, do me a favor. Smash subscribe, hit that like, and tell me in the comments, what's the one skill you're committing to for the next 30 days? I read every single one. This is Strategy State. I'm Sargon, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go start your day 1.